Welcome to another week. You find me in Will's car yet again. We enjoyed going to the cinema so much a week or so ago that we've decided we'd like to go again. So today we're off to see the new Nicolas Cage film. I wouldn't necessarily say that we're like Nicolas Cage maniacs, but it seemed like quite a fun film, and what we're not is a fan of the comic book superhero films. They're silly. Anyway, so I was thinking today, I normally film the beautiful countryside, but I might focus today on filming some of the settlements and towns that we pass through on the route, just so you can get a bit of a feel about what the urban landscape's like. Don't mind that, that's an annoying fly. And then I'll report back later about what we thought of the film, battery permitting on the phone. But it's a beautiful sunny day, and you know, if this is June in Britain, you wouldn't be too disappointed. I'll see you later. We just got out of the film. I'm sorry about the noise of the engine running. Will's just leapt out at a charity shop to look for cupboards. Charity shop's not even open. Anyway, the film is so good. It's got something like The Unbearable Weight of Almighty Genius, I don't know. It's got a really cool title like Hot Tub Time Machine. Anyway, it's a really good film. It really cheered me up. It's completely mental. I've never quite seen a film like it, but it's really good fun and I highly recommend it. And now we're off to collect our groceries, which is much less fun, a bit more down to earth anyway. So do go and see it if you're in the mood for something that's completely mental and hugely frivolous. Sorry, I'm distracted by a bird, let me show you. That's an Australian magpie. He was eyeing me up. They're lovely birds. They're the ones who make that really cool noise. Anyway, gotta go. and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. The kangaroos kind of come and go. It's been a while since I've had a big lot on the lawn, but I just came out to feed the birds. I noticed there's quite a gang of them. Thought you might like to see them. Let me try and zoom in a bit maybe. There's a couple of big ones over there. Oh, little baby one sticking out. Can you see it? Oh, there's a big fella. Doesn't like the sight of me. Big males are often the most cowardly. Females are often the bravest. Can you see that? And there's that big male. He hopped right out of it. I shall leave you in peace. Enjoy your snack. Oh, to be a cat. I don't know how many of you are interested in spiders. This is a spider called a huntsman. We see them quite often in and around the house, although I gather they're somewhat territorial and will fight each other to the death, so you won't have a house typically that's invaded by them. This is a relatively small one. It's been hanging around by my bedside table for quite a long time. I'm upstairs in my bedroom. Let me zoom in. You can see it's got really interesting legs, like how this second leg is well bigger than the other. And I guess I don't know very much about them. I know they get big, I know they can jump, I know they can cause car accidents because they secrete themselves inside cars. I had a car huntsman for quite a while, and they sort of drop out of sun visors and stuff and cause drivers to screech and then drive off the road. I think Will said they can bite, but I don't think they could kill. And I think they're not prone to bite if they can help it. But I guess going by the name, they predate other animals by leaping on them. I don't know, look them up. But I've never seen one in a web, so I guess it's just a different kind of adaptation, a different kind of lifestyle. I don't know if it'll tolerate me actually physically getting closer to it. You can have a closer look at it. The huntsman. Not my specialist subject. I can identify one, but that's about all. Look it up if you're interested. Sorry. And good night. Welcome to yet another lovely autumn morning. I am, as you will have seen in my last video, in the process of getting the grass seed down. If I spin round, so got a little patch there I repaired. There's a path which goes down to the orchard, which is beyond there. You can just about make out the snake shed. I'm turning my attention now to this part of the garden. If I crouch down, you might get a better idea of just how undulating it is. And I'm not like a lawn snob, I don't care if the lawn's dead level, but there was a structure here, a sort of polytunnel, and obviously they've sort of banked up the edges and dug out an area here. And it does make it a bit tricky to mow, and it does make it a bit treacherous to walk on. So what I was thinking of doing, oh, hello Vita. Okay, so what we were thinking of doing was sort of basically taking this hump out and basically moving the hump to here and here, and I've got some extra soil. As I say, I'm not that bothered if it's completely flat, but it would be nice if it was flatter. So I'm going to have a stab with my rotavator, see how that goes. It is a little temperamental, but hopefully I can sort of chug this up a bit, mash it up, and then spread it out. It does mean that I'll temporarily lose this nice grass, but it is very, very vigorous grass. And also I've got additional grass seed, so this is a good opportunity for me to do this now that we're in mid-autumn and the sun's not too hot, and it rained overnight, so the ground's quite soft. So I'm going to have a stab at that and see what happens. As you might be able to tell, that didn't quite go to plan. I sadly couldn't start the rotavator, but that's okay, I'm sure. That's easily fixed for another day. Nevertheless, time's sort of running out for various reasons, so what I did instead was just take the soil and the fertiliser, the manure I added to the mix, and just layer it on the worst offending areas, which are this dip here, which was the bed inside the polytunnel, and this bit here, which was dug out by an animal. And I've been gradually filling it in when I've been digging holes, mowing it over to sort of level it off a bit, but now I've just added a bit more soil to level it off even more, put some seed down, did my Jeff Hamilton shuffle, stamped it down, watered it, so it's not capability brown standards of manipulating the environment, but it's as good as I am prepared to get it today, with the limited resources that I have, as in myself, and also the limited time I have. And if I get down, it's slightly improved. So what I hope will happen is the grass underneath will grow through, and the grass seed on top will also start to germinate, so that will help knit this soil down to the ground, so that when I mow it, it won't just sort of blow away. It's better. That'll do. That'll do. Because I just sort of fudged that lawn job. Here it is from a different angle. Means I've freed up a bit of time, which means I can do another long overdue little garden chore, which is remove the canopy from the hammock frame. The hammock, long since gone, was used this year, but not as much as in previous years. But it's got this nice canopy, which is very helpful actually. The afternoon sun is up here, and it's deliberately under the trees to cast a bit of shade, keeping in mind that the days that we would be on the hammock would be days where it's over 30, so a bit of shade is actually welcome. The hammock won't be used now for many, many months. Lawns are not an entire success, but the upshot of that is that I get to do another little task. Hey, by the way, I don't think I've showed you these before. It's a sort of wind chime. Listen to this though. I think it's called a Koshi Bell, and they're tuned to different notes or whatever. I don't know much about music. Inside, I don't think you'll be able to see, there are these little metal rods, and the little bell thing that hits them to create the different notes. As I say, I think it's called a Koshi Bell. I think it was made in France or Germany, Europe, anyway. Doesn't it just make the most beautiful noise though? I love it. Okay, I've got a couple more gardening jobs I want to get done today. Let me go and stand more in the sun. Oh, that's nice. So the first job is to prune my grapevines. As you can see, this row of vines all done, all the leaves are off. And now what I need to do is prune all this stuff back. And just so you know what I'm doing, I'm pruning it to 2 buds. So, wait, focus. Anyway, so I'm pruning it to 2 buds, which would be like here on this one. And I'm going to do that for the whole lot. So I'm just going to crack on with that now. There we are. Looking lovely and neat after its autumn haircut. Ready to spring back into life. It's one of those jobs that's so worth doing because it just makes such an impact very quickly. And on the ground, all the bits and pieces that I've chopped off, ready to go on the bonfire. Next on my agenda is prepping my heliballs for winter. I've got 5, 2, 3, 4 and 1 around there, 5. They don't require a lot of attention. As I'm filming this, it's May, which in the Northern Hemisphere would be the seasonal equivalent of November. So this is a late autumn job. And essentially all I'll be doing is, where needed, which possibly won't be on any of them, removing some of the older, tattier leaves, but they're all looking pretty good to me. Put down a sprinkling of slow release fertiliser and a little sprinkling of garden lime, sweeten the soil for them, and then I'll be putting a dung donut around each of them. So I'm going to crack on with this job now. Another task to do this time of year is to prune back my dahlias. Got this little clump here underneath my plum tree, which is starting to go autumn. And all you do is prune it down to about half the height. So, not so easy to do one-handed. I'm going to carry on doing this, and while I do, I thought I'd have a little interlude where I show you something on the garden that I'm really loving this time of year. I just want to take a minute to explore this beautiful moss and all the other mosses that I have on my garden. This is a root coming out of this big eucalyptus tree in front of my house, which is there. But I just love moss. This little miniature kingdom. I love this kind of clumpy moss. And I love this more springy moss, like I have in this section of lawn. I love walking on a lawn that's full of moss. So springy. Look how cool this clump is. Isn't it beautiful? It's like a little world in miniature. little forest. And my final task for today, and possibly this week as far as you're concerned, is to feed my newly emerging daffodil bulbs. And that is a basic bloodfish and bone or tomato fertiliser. I got a liquid one which I'll add to my watering can and give a quick feed to all the little daffodil bulbs that are popping up all around the garden and inside the garden, hopefully to give them a nice start for flowering later on this year. There's a very good chance that this will have taken me up to the end of this week's filming, so like to take the opportunity to say thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.